Hello everyone, this is H to the Husky here. This is game number 2 between Braddock spawning over here in the bottom right side. He is going to be your yellow Terran. I love that they picked these colors, by the way. And in the bottom left side, it is NESTEA. No, it is not the drink. And fun fact, in the Brood War days, his name was Zergbong. And I remember every time I'd watch him play, I would immediately bet against him because he was not good. But after watching that performance, my God, that was awesome. I mean, Braddock did virtually everything correctly. He kept his drops alive. His expansion timing was good. His unit composition was standard. I think part of the problem for him is a lack of upgrades and also the amount of Hellions he got. He never really was able to utilize them. I mean, how many Hellions did he have? At least 6, somewhere around 8, I think. And that is 800 resources. If you are not getting 800 resources value out of your army, I mean, you can look at that, and it's very easy to say, oh, man, he played perfectly, and he still lost. I'm going to disagree in that he did use a lot of resources on those Hellions, and it did not pay off. So he's going to have to be a lot more cost-effective here in these games, because the fact of the matter is that NESTEA is not going to allow mistakes like that. If you do not get the best use out of every single unit, then NESTEA is going to punish you for it. So again, this is why he is the best Zerg in the world, or at least widely considered, as I guess it could be kind of opinion based on who is the best player. We do see a hatch first out of NESTEA, very common on this map, just because it's very easy to defend it once you just get 1 or 2 spine crawlers. And also, not only is he Korean, so he's going to be confident, and he's going to be a favorite in this tournament to win it. That almost sounds kind of like racist to be like, he's a Korean, but usually the Koreans have such a better practice regimen, and they tend to be the best players in the world, so I would consider that a compliment. And so for him to go hatch first, I am zero surprised here, because he's going to be feeling confident after that last game. I mean, he was able to win with a very early Ultralisk rush, and I wouldn't say super early, but a very timely Ultralisk attack, I would say. And also, just the fact of the matter is he's up a game, so he can take those risks. It's not even that big of a risk, but the payout is much better than if you go for the spawning pool first. Is this drone going to be able to escape? Nope. As he has no way of flying out of this base. He cannot jump over cliffs, so maybe he'll try and steal a gas. I doubt he's even going to make it that far. First blood. Sorry, that happened a lot later than I expected it to, so I had to commit and follow through, because that is what a good person does. Now we do see the spawning pool finishing up here for NESTEA. His opening is completely standard, especially for this map. He'll most likely be transferring over about 5 drones if he decides to, maybe just 1 drone at a time. I guess players like Idra just love transferring those drones. Now we do see Braddock deciding to wall in here. So what sneakiness is he up to? Well, he does have a factory on the way, does not have an add-on lined up here. So I'm not sure what his plan is here. Most likely going to make 1 Hellion. Immediately drops a starport, so he is going to be going the good old Destiny Cloud Fist. I would just like to apologize to all the fans for me not calling it that nearly enough. So the 1-1-1, the DCF on the way out of him. But is he going to do a true Destiny Cloud Fist by getting a lot of units off of this? Or what is he going to do? I guess anytime you go 1-1-1, it is a true Destiny Cloud Fist. But he's not going to be doing an all-in attack by any means, as he does have a command center on the way right now. You see the Overlord gearing up to try and scout the main base, probably around the 6 to 8 minute mark is when Zerg tend to like to scout around. And we do have a tech lab. Interestingly enough, did not build that on the barracks. Could have saved a second or two lifting these off, but does decide to put it on the factory. And any add-ons going on for either of these? No, we do see a Banshee on the way, though, which this will be pretty interesting. It's not something you see as much versus Zerg these days, simply because a lot of Zerg players like to get this 3rd queen, which makes using Banshees much more difficult. It does give you a lot of map control, because you can fly around and kill off Zerglings. I wouldn't really say map control, but denies scouting. Braddock. I like the train of thought that he has going on here. Now, getting a 3rd base can be difficult on this map, so that's going to be one struggle for him moving forward. But his kind of thought process here... Oh, don't let that Zergling in there. Wow, that was close. That Zergling almost made it inside the main base. Almost a huge blunder, because it would have revealed the Banshee and the 2 command centers. I think the 1 command center, did they get revealed? Let's take a look at here exactly what NESTEA saw. No, he hasn't seen that, actually. So, anyways, kind of his thought process here is fly around, get map control with this Banshee, force a reaction out of the Zerg, whether it be a Spore Crawler or just an additional Queen, which he does already have that additional Queen, so I don't think NESTEA is going to have too much trouble with this. And then once you have that full map control, just double Expo, or at least get a lot of energy for Mules. This is cool. I like this build out of Braddock. I think it's going to play very well versus what NESTEA is doing. And NESTEA is overreacting just a little bit. He does have 3 Spore Crawlers on the way, so this Banshee already paying for itself. It did force 3 drones. Not only is that 3 less drones, but it's also, you know, you have to pay for the Spore Crawler itself. Now we do see even using a scan here with this Banshee to take out the creep tumors. I like what Braddock is doing here in this series. He could kill off a couple more Zerglings as well. Nope, doesn't able to get the killing blow, but it does look like Braddock is going to have to be able to defend his expansion. He does have Siege Tank on the high ground, soon to have Siege Mode, which will for sure hit anything trying to run up this ramp. And I think Braddock's really rethinking his playstyle. This is cool. Thumbs up to Braddock's build. And most likely we'll leave this one inside the main base for a little bit. He can use it just to drop Mules outside that expansion. We do see double gas on the way for Braddock. Transferring over SCVs just a little soon to try and mine there. But he does have 3 there. So he has a heavy gas play planned. And I think it's going to involve Mech, because we do see 2 factories being produced right now. With, depending on his add-ons, we're going to see if he's going to start going for Thors, Siege Tanks, things like that. We do see an Armory. So very heavy chance of Thors, which would be something I'd want to say as a weatherman. Today, the forecast, we have a very heavy chance of Thors. Now, if they do keep the Thor changes for the expansion, that is going to be a lot less Thors. I think you can only get 1 at a time, and they cost 600 minerals or something crazy like that, which I don't know why we keep gravitating towards units like that. I think we should just get rid of all the giant weird units like the Mothership, which I think actually has, I think they said they're going to get rid of it in the 3rd game, or the expansion, excuse me. Speaking of expansions, we do have a 3rd expansion going down right now. Viking Hunting Overlords is up to 2 kills. So paying for itself in that regard. We do see a potential drop. 3 Hellions inside there. Does not have 4, but I think he'll be just fine. And add-ons nearly completed here. We do have a reactor here. We do have, nope, nothing being produced right now. We do have 9 Mutalisks. Are we going to have Thors done in time? We do see 2 Thors on the way. Now this drop is going to get completely locked down. What are we doing here? I guess he's going to unload and then leave the Hellions here, as he has told it to unload and then fly away. The Mutalisks out of position to defend this. Actually, I thought he was going to be just in time to lock down this drop, but these Hellions could be doing a lot of damage here. It does look like they have unloaded inside the main base. They are getting left for dead, but can they do the damage they need to? The Thors nearly completed. They're trying to go for the add-ons here, but that is going to leave them vulnerable. Here comes Hellions right now, lining them up, able to get 5 kills already. But you got to remember that these Hellions have no chance of escape, so it does look like these Zerglings will clean those up. Indeed, they do. Here's the Thors. Can they get some shots off? No, the rally point prevents any shots from being fired, at least any substantial ones. So, unfortunately for Braddock, a huge missed opportunity there. If those Thors had just spawned, they would have done a lot more damage. And NESTEA, he's going to have to be careful with this Muta production. And I'm noticing in both these games, NESTEA is going for quite a bit of units in the mid-game and then droning up on the back of that. So you can see him doing that just now. Huge amount of drones right here. We do have 9 more on the way. And it seems to be working out really well for him. The problem is that these Mutas, they're going to be tough to use, because the timing of these Thors is such that, I mean, even if he is able to magic box these Mutas, they aren't going to be able to kill off these Thors as easily. So we do have more Thors on the way. Another huge wave of drones. I think this is the 3rd wave of drones that have NESTEA. He may have overcommitted here on drones. The Mutas trying to lock down the Hellions, are able to kill 1, but they have split up. No, decide to regroup. Where are they going at? The Mutas are hot on their tail. And we will see 2 drones. Nope, only 1 do go down. More drones lining up and able to not do as much damage as he absolutely needs to here. Good control from NESTEA, able to clean that up. You do have to remember, though, that Braddock does have an additional command center. His expansion timing very early for Terran on this map. And 2 more command centers from Braddock. This is something that Terran players have started doing. You don't see it as much as standard Terran builds, but it is starting to happen more and more. What is the army supplier like right now for both players? 55 for Braddock, but you have to remember that one of the quickest ways to get maxed out as Terran is to go for Mass Thor. And, I mean, he's not going just pure Thor, but he does have a lot of those. We do see the Blue Flame Hellion Squirt Gun upgrade on the way. +1 attack is already done, which will make these Hellions so good versus drones if they can actually get into a good position here. So right now, let's look at the units here. We do have 10 mutas. Oh no! A huge blunder! Well, now we have 4 mutas, so 6 mutas died there. You can see their little heads rolling around like trophies on the ground. And I was going to say, right now NESTEA actually has nothing. I mean, he just made about 20 roaches. But I honestly think BRATOK has a window here where he can cause a lot of damage, especially once these 3 Thors spawn. I just don't know. The mutas are worthless. They're not going to be doing anything moving forward because he just does not have enough to really harass effectively. Missile turrets, look at this, being set up by BRATOK, cutting the map virtually in half on the right side. He can expand to both of these locations. Is he going to double Expo here at the same time? That would be insane. BRATOK stopping at nothing to kill NESTEA in this game. And if BRATOK is even able to take 1 game away from a GSL champion, 3-time GSL champion in the late game, Terran building armor upgrade on the way. Oh, BRATOK, you're making me a fan already. He is playing so smart in this series. Is he making more command centers? Yes, he is. Absolutely out of control. Wow, this is so cool. This is awesome. I am loving it. And we do see the +2 attack nearly completed here, as he's working on a lot of the unique upgrades that you don't normally see. We do see a Nidus Worm though. NESTEA also doing some awesome stuff here to try and go good against this mech, because honestly, those units cannot get back. And are we going to be seeing? We could be seeing something awesome here moving forward. We are seeing the upgrades for Ravens. Is he going to be getting the Seeker Missile? He very well could be going for Ravens here, which would be ridiculous. Yeah, 25 starting energy on Ravens. I don't know the last time I've seen this upgrade be used by Terran. So, I'm really excited about this game, actually. Like, I am ridiculously excited about this now. We are going to be seeing a greater Spire. These Hellions need to be careful there. That is so many roaches. Wow, NESTEA is so good at macro. He does have 4,000 resources, though. What's he going to spend the rest of that supply on? We do see 3. Oh, I heard it. Where's that? It is all the way up here. So BRATOK's got to be wondering, okay, where is this Nidus Worm at? It is going to be attacking this expansion. Another command center. BRATOK, you monster. Needs to be upgrading those 2. He does indeed. The SCV has spotted the massive amounts of roaches. BRATOK does need to get into position. Does he have enough units here, though? You got to remember that he will be supply capped so easily. And here we go. Siege takes Siege to Siege. Does look like the Thor is just able to blast through these with a +2 attack. What are you roaches doing? Aside from going to the graveyard. Now we do see another Nidus Worm up here. The SCV is going to be able to deal with it. Nidus Worms do not have that much HP. It did manage to unload about 6 roaches here. Looks like the Raven's going to be dropping some turrets to try and deal with it. This Nidus Worm up here has not been dealt with. BRATOK says, I'm going to deal with it. I wish that I could do a Russian accent as he marches this mech style up here. This is kind of what they were known for back in StarCraft 1 as well. Need to be careful with the Thors, though. Looks like 1 Thor goes down. A lot of roaches getting blasted away as they are lined up. The Hellion right here doing a bit of damage as well. NESTEA, why would you engage there? Does end up losing a lot of units there. Decides to burrow the few remaining ones to begin regenerating that HP. He is at 4,000 resources, though, and has now transitioned into Broodlords. I think this is a good tech switch for him, because he is going to be going up against, again, the continuing mech. But he has lost 2,000 resources more than his opponent, which you saw in the last game, when he lost so much more than his opponent, but still won. The difference in this game is that BRATOK's economy is insane. It is literally, like, he has a random command center here just sitting in the center of the map, is making yet another one. Could easily afford to drop even more. And then you just, literally at this point, you just drop in mules. Drop in mules like a sultan. And, yeah. If you guys are wondering what I got that from, that is from an animated series online that I wish there was more of. Now, we do see the Seeker Missile on the way. You got to remember the Ravens did spawn with additional energy. Here is another Nidus Worm, but it is trying to spawn on top of a siege tank. And that only means one result there. Annihilated. The Overseer here trying to spot for more Nidus Worms, but the one on the left side has been taken out. I am liking BRATOK's chances here. He has stopped his upgrades, though, which could be a huge detriment to his game. But NESTEA, look at this. Only +2 attack, while at this stage of the last game, he is fully maxed out on upgrades. We do see more Broodlords on the way. How many? Is he sneaking in a lot of Ravens here? Yeah, where are these Ravens? He has 9 Ravens, folks. 9 Ravens on the field with Seeker Missile, with the upgrades for the auto turrets and things like that, as well as the high-sec auto tracking. Bratok, you are a beast. It is so awesome that he is getting these upgrades. He does need to work on more of the armory upgrades, though. He also needs to get out additional gas. He is very low on gas. He is mining it out of multiple locations, though, off of all of his bases. Oh, he could put some SCVs in here, actually, to mine those up, but he does have this. So his income should be fairly insane here. Here comes the 4 roach harassment. There's a Planetary, though. So that is going to get locked down. Income for Bratok at nearly 3,000. These drones very vulnerable to these random mass Hellions, which have just ran into Zerglings. Need to kill off these drones. At least get a little bit of a victory here, which you got to remember, both players do have such a heavy amount of resources. I don't think it's going to matter. This is a very tense moment, though, as there's not a lot of anti-air here. Can NESTEA make it happen? The Planetary Fortress taking a lot of damage here. We do see the Seeker Missiles. Broodlords have no chance of escaping. They do have a chance of being microed into separate little clumps, though, so that they don't take as much damage. But these Corruptors need to be careful. We do need to see Viking production pick up here as the Raven Cloud is still continuing to grow. We do see the Broodlords trying to take out the Planetary Fortress, which is up to 24 kills. It would be very nice for him if he could actually save this, but it looks like it will go down. The random Planetary in the center has been destroyed, but these Broodlords going to be destroyed as well, as lots of Seeker Missiles go down. The Corruptors even flying into that a little bit, I think, taking just a tiny bit of damage. This is one of the weirdest battles I've ever seen in StarCraft 2, as let's just go ahead and hide the UI here, because this is ridiculous. And we'll even hide this. I'm just sitting in awe here, as it does look like Bratok able to come out ahead with a huge mech play. As these Ravens, do they have enough for the Seeker Missile? We're about to find out. As Roach is now marching in here, the attack has continued. Can Bratok hang on here? He absolutely needs to. And it does look like these NESTEA Roaches being very cost effective here. As the Raven Cloud, though, still hanging on. This is a huge investment here, but it does look like NESTEA has been thwarted. The Banshee now able to do a lot of damage, using this almost as if it is a TVT late game. Using that Banshee to kill off these units as best as he possibly can. And there's just not a lot of anti-air there. We do see 10 Corruptors on the way. I think during that we may have lost a couple of Zerglings, or obviously a couple of Zerglings, but also a couple of workers as well. NESTEA is maxed out again. These Hellions, though, they do have decent upgrades, able to kill off a lot of these Lings. Point defense drone, not so good versus Zergling. And here come the Ravens right now, going to try and clean this up. This is a lot of stuff to deal with, though. He just does not have a strong ground army. The Zerglings do need to begin attacking that siege tank in a good position. Seeker Missile on the Roaches goes off. Not the most cost-effective way of using that energy, but it still is free damage the longer time goes on. But we do see NESTEA a little overcommitting here to those attacks. Has lost about 5,000, almost 6,000 resources more than his opponent. Decides to continue attacking forward. The Planetary by Bratok is still in a good position. Seeker Missiles on the Corruptors. Yes, no. Yes, they are. They are faster now. Can they catch up? Oh, trying to split them up as best he can. Does a decent job, but then regroups at the last second. 1 HP on some of these Corruptors. That is only 1 shot from anything in the game that can shoot air. He needs to keep those alive. The Raven Cloud is growing and growing. The Viking count is fairly high, but we don't see anything to deal with Roaches other than Seeker Missiles. Not enough energy, though. Almost enough energy for Seeker Missile, which he is going to in just a moment. Can he land a good one here on these units? Yes, he can. A big hit there, but his siege tanks are vulnerable here. The rally point just destroying these tanks. The Roaches being so cost-effective at this point, but auto turrets have been planted. They do not gain any damage from the upgrades, but they do have armor because they count as a building. So 3 armor on these. That's why you can use them against the Roaches. But guess what? Roaches can move. Auto turrets cannot. A couple more Roaches rallying over here. It does look like he's trying to focus down these add-ons, which those can be easily reproduced. There's already a Raven being produced out of here as well. How many Ravens are we up to? My God, 16 Ravens. Still has nothing on the ground to deal with these Roaches, though. which are delaying upgrades and production inside the main base. And, I mean, NESTEA can make these roaches all day, man, because he has these bases up and running just fine. We do see a hidden expansion down here in the bottom center that NESTEA may not know about. Trying to run roaches over here. This is a lot of turrets, which are protecting the entrance surprisingly well. Look at the range on these turrets. With all of the upgrades he has, these turrets looking devastating. I wish these turrets had a kill counter, but able to defend with just this Raven. This Raven Cloud. A murder of Ravens over here, and look at the amount of command centers just dropping mules anywhere. Looks like he's going to be doing it up here at the safer expansion. Does look like this Planetary will go down unless he can begin repairing it here. It looks like BRATOK not really paying attention until the very last second. And roaches going to try and kill the SCVs, but they do shoot extremely slow. Decides that I'm going to protect this, so I'm just going to drop mules to repair that even further. Does look like that is going to work for now, but more reinforcing roaches here. This is buying quite a bit of time. How many kills do you guys have? 5 and 1, so able to kill a couple of workers with that. We might need to see more Banshees out of BRATOK. This one is up to 19 kills. So BRATOK, man, has somehow held on here. I don't know exactly if this is going to continue. I'm just awestruck at how this game has gone for both of these players, as NESTEA is trying to seal this game out. But once these Ravens start to get a lot of energy, they can be so difficult to deal with. Now, he does just barely have enough for one Seeker Missile right now, and it does look like he may be forced to use it here. But this Planetary raking in the kills, doing the splash damage. It does take him a while to spin around there, and a lot of turrets going to go down. Looks like he will protect this for now. This is using a lot of energy, though. The Roach is going to try and focus down some of these command centers. No. I wonder if, are these command centers all in one hotkey? Yeah, no, he doesn't. That's why these command centers right here do have full energy. So here goes a lot of energy. 4 mules with energy has been lost. 8 mules of energy could go down if this one does indeed die. That would be a devastating loss. Trying to harass now with these Hellions. Can he do any damage? There are some drones down here. NESTEA is running a little bit low on resources compared to where he was, so any drones he can kill here will be nice. These drones just trying not to die in the crossfire. Now we do see the siege tanks on the low ground may get taken out, as they are not in siege mode. And BRATOK, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the upgrades he needs, is going against nearly maxed upgrade roaches. And where does he get the money for all these roaches? But NESTEA is broke at this point, and he still has lost more resources than his opponent. Are we going to be seeing some Seeker Missiles? Not enough energy yet. May have to rely on the auto turrets. He does indeed. The auto turret's so good at staying alive with that +3 armor. Don't know if it's going to be enough to kill off these roaches. Looks like they're just going to be running inside the main base. But this is a death maze for these roaches with the auto turrets everywhere. Even some turrets still on the right side have not timed out. 240 seconds is how long those last in-game, which is seemingly forever. So just using energy to clean up these roaches as they're just trying to kill these auto turrets, but it's an endless stream of them. BRATOK has lost a lot of his energy, though, from these command centers that have now died. And the income not as good as it used to be, down to 2,400, but that's still a pretty good spot for him to be in. He does have a very important mining base down at the south. Don't know if NESTEA has spotted it. He has not. This game is ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. It is so insane. I can't even believe what I'm watching. So many turrets remain over here. He's just throwing them down everywhere as if this is like TF2 or something to defend the important locations. The Planetary got to start raking in some kills again. You can't see the kill counter, though, because he is making SCVs there. The Banshee number, it's still only that 1. But we do see a lot of Ravens now. Seeker Missile! Oh, big hits. But Roach is so good at surviving damage. Look how good they are versus tanks as well. Managed to actually kill that entire siege tank line, aside from, I think, 1 tank. Now there's one under there as well. So the Banshee's still flying around, killing these off. BRATOK trying to pull out all the stops here to survive as long as possible. He does need to start dropping some mules down here, though, to mine this one out as soon as he can. There he goes. That's a good use of energy right there. Does need to land these as well. Needs to save this one if possible. There he goes. That SCV is set to repair that. And nope, there is more roaches here, so that looks like the command center will get taken out. This expansion nearly mined out. But the problem for BRATOK is he hasn't been able to harass with these auto turrets. If he can just get to the Zerg base and use all of his energy on turrets, I think he'll be able to kill off his opponent. But, I mean, just the attacks from NESTEA have been non-stop. So he is continuing forward here. 2 Banshees now. I think even adding in more Banshees might be a good idea. Vikings are good at the air superiority for now. There's really no Corruptors on the field, I believe, anymore. We do see Seeker Missiles once again. Boom and boom. doing so much damage. Only one Corruptor on the field at this point. Seeker Missile trying to land. Can it get close enough? Yes, it does. But the Roaches are going to die for these Siege Tanks anyway. Still only +2 attack. We're seeing 9 Banelings at this stage of the game. So the pretty standard 9 Baneling, 35-minute opener. Not sure what he has planned with these. Maybe trying to harass the SCVs. Oh, I want to see how many kills this Planetary has. He has killed so many Roaches. Now we do see moving forward. Killing off a couple of these Roaches with the Banshees. Such a smart play here. I love this unit composition out of Braddock. It's proved to be good so far. But we don't see any Infestors quite yet. We do need to see the Fungals. Here comes the massive amount of turrets all at once. Most of these are going to be in range of this hatchery. Spine Crawlers have never looked so worthless versus the turrets, as they are fully upgraded auto turrets, which is not something I think I've ever said in a cast before. Just look at the hatchery going to get taken out here. Infestors, though, may be the key to killing off this Raven Cloud. If he can get a couple of Fungals off, it'll be lights out. No, the hatchery remains. The Banshees, though, here could easily finish off this hatchery if he decides to focus on Seeker Missiles. Boom, boom! Boom, boom, boom. 5 Seeker Missiles, but the Fungals, is there going to be enough? 1 Fungal lands, 2 Fungals, but it's on the Hellions. Can he continue to Fungal here? He does get enough for 1 more. The Raven Cloud remains marching forward, though, trying to kill off these infested Terrans. Does decide to go with the infested energy, or the infested Terrans, excuse me, using the energy. Nothing worse than infested energy. It does look like the Ravens have been whittled down a little bit, but still the hatchery dangerously close to being sniped here. I think Infestors were the choice, the right choice. Mutalisks good as well if you can keep them split up and run them away from the Seeker Missiles. Throwing down a couple of turrets here. Can he take down the hatchery? It's getting dangerously low. The Hellions joining in. If he can get this hatchery, this would be a nice victory. The first time the Zerg has lost an expansion, at least in quite a while, as we do see this expansion up here now vulnerable, as these drone numbers very high up here. Braddock wisely backing out. The auto turret's going to be left behind, throwing down a lot of turrets right now. Siege Tanks in position. Can these Infestors get a good hit? The Seeker Missile does hit the Infestors. We could see it again, not using Fungal Growth, instead using the infested Terrans. But with Seeker Missiles landing everywhere, he is going to do lots of damage to those Infestors. And the infested Terrans die immediately to the Hellion and Siege Tank fire. The Siege Tanks now are pressing forward here. Braddock using his Raven Cloud to the best of his ability. It's proven to be effective so far. Can he lock down yet another expansion? These turrets are going to help do just that. More turrets being added in right now, and long distance mining down here for NESTEA. This is really his only remaining mining base. Can he actually take this out? This is so much stuff on the field right now for our Terran player, continuing to use the energy. It does look like the hatchery is going to fall. Boom, it goes. Only long distance mining remains for NESTEA. Can Braddock actually take a game off of NESTEA? The 3-time GSL champion, one of the best, if not the best, Zerg players in the world. So far, it does look like Braddock is gearing up to do just that. He has about an 80 supply lead, and there's the good game out of NESTEA, succumbing to the power of the Russian Terran, using massive amount of Ravens here. So they, whatever they're drinking over there at Mother Russia, man, oh man, this is awesome. This series is one of my favorite series so far, because not only in game number 1 did we see outstanding, perfect play out of NESTEA with those early Ultras fully upgraded, we also saw the ability to win with Mass Raven out of Braddock. Looking at the spending here, that is a lot spent on Army. 46,000 resources to 57,000. 18,000 spent on the economy. But regardless, guys, we are going to go on to game number 3. Can Braddock actually take down NESTEA? Or is NESTEA going to be the favorite here and continue forward? We are about to find out. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.